This is Steve Ridgel, and there's a great little phrase in the book of Ephesians that says this: speaking the truth in love. And I think about that a lot. If there's ever a time, I think it has always been true, but right now it just seems so critical that truth needs to be spoken into our world. There's so much in culture. Now, this has been true for a long time, but it's really prevalent now, where culture kind of says, you figure out your own truth. The only problem with that is if my neighbor thinks it's true that my cows are his, and I think it's true that my cows are mine, we may have conflict. And truth changes. It's what's true in 1950 is all of a sudden not true in 2024. And what's true in 2024, by the way, may not be true in 2051. And so people kids grow up kind of thinking, man, there's no truth. I wish I just knew what's true. Now, we Christians have for generations said God is true. Jesus came and he is the way, the truth, and the life. We believe the Bible to be true. And yes, I know that I can find a lot of preachers, a lot of churches who will say, well, the Bible's only true if it matches your truth. And parts of the Bible are true and parts aren't. And so it's kind of like taking a pair of scissors and cutting out the stuff you don't like and leaving in the stuff you do. Or just saying, well, yeah, I know it says that, but it says the sky is blue, but it really means the sky is yellow. I get it. I know all that. But I'm telling you, Christians need to be a voice in our homes, in our communities, in our worlds that say, no, we believe this to be true. And people may not like it. They may be mad about it. They may get offended by it. But still, truth is truth. And if we're going to live a certain way, we need to be able to say why we live a certain way. And for me, when people say, why do you think and how do you? I say, well, the Bible tells me so. I believe in Jesus, and so I'm going to try to live like him. Well, why did you change? Because Jesus, God, the Bible. I think it's important for us to learn to say those things. It's important for us to speak truth into a world because we live in a world where it's really confusing. Nobody has to accept it. Nobody has to believe it, but we have to speak it. Because I do believe there's truth about marriage. I believe there's truth about sex. I believe there's truth about money. I believe there's truth about how you treat people. I believe there's truth about race. I believe there's truth about so many things that in our culture people don't live or believe. But I do want to say this. That's not just speaking the truth. It's also speaking the truth in love. Even the people that disagree with me out in the world are not my enemies. They're not. Satan, the father of lies, that's my enemy. He's the one that's out there saying, no, you can do whatever, you can be with whoever you want, you can love whoever you want. You know, if life is inconvenient, they're too old to take care of, they hadn't been born, and they're whatever the issue is that Satan lies about. No, money is good. No, God wants you to have all. Satan lies about all sorts of stuff. And so when I speak truth, I always try to remember the person I'm talking to. I love them. God made them. Jesus died for them. I need to remember those things. And so I think that's important. Truth, speaking the truth, but in love. And so this is Steve Ridgel just telling you, I think there's truth and we need to be saying it. But we always need to do it in love.